So on today's show, I meet up with a stock 392 Charger on a sunny afternoon to see how it compares to my Challenger RT. So this is Jay.
Thanks so much.
When Jay realized I was in the Edmonton area, he reached out and said, "Hey, I've got a stock 392. Do you want to run these cars together and see how your car compares?" Not only that, but I thought it would be great for you guys who are thinking about throwing some headers on your 5.7 Hemis and show you guys what you can expect in terms of performance and just how you'd stack up to a totally stock 392. Now mine is a 6-speed manual car, but if you're out there running an 8-speed automatic, chances are the races would probably be a little bit closer for you. Okay. Okay, on our first run, I screwed up the honks. As you can see, the third honk didn't sound. Now, I was there with my right hand honking and realized that my right hand also needed to be on the shifter so that when I started, I could shift it into second gear. So in that panic of trying to honk and then throw my hand on the shifter, that third honk ended up not sounding. Regardless though, Jay actually knew what I meant and ended up getting out of the hole first. So it was actually a fair race. So we both ended up spinning a little bit on the start of this run, but we both also hooked at around the same time. This run was fairly even at the start, with him starting to pull away as we got up to higher speeds. Okay. This run, you can see that we're on a slight slope. So as soon as I take my foot off the brake to push in the clutch as we're about to start the race, you can see my car start to roll forward a little bit. And that little bit of a roll kind of threw me off a bit. So I ended up spinning quite a bit at the start of this run. And Jay actually hooked up pretty good. So he just took right off on me. And by the time I regained a little bit of traction, I couldn't catch up. So lastly, we decided to try a roll race just so we could show you guys roughly how the two Hemis would compare on the go. We went from about a 50 Canadian roll, which is about a 30 roll for my American friends.
That was a hell of a time, and
good times with the Mopars.
Yeah, man, it's good. Just good to see where a stock 392 runs against a 5.7 with headers in the tune.
Yep.
Thanks for coming out and doing that, man. It's super cool, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been good.
So in conclusion, the cars were about as close as I expected them to be. They're fairly close to each other, with the 392 really starting to walk away once we hit around the 100 kilometers an hour mark and up. That's kind of when the 5.7 just kind of ran out of air and the 392 just kept pulling steady. Now Jay took me for a ride in his Charger after, which was super nice of him. And it was interesting to feel the difference of the two cars like back to back like that. The down low pull and the low end torque of the two cars was very, very similar. like very similar. The 392 probably had just like a little bit extra, but it was still pretty comparable. Where the 392 was much different than the 5.7 Hemi was how it just kept pulling with that same amount of force the entire way to redline. Whereas the 5.7 Hemi, as soon as you get higher up in the RPM range, even with headers, it starts to run out of air. It starts to run out of gas. One other thing that really impressed me about Jay's SRT Charger was the brakes. He slammed on the brakes just to show me how good they were, and literally it stopped so hard it almost made your stomach flip. The brakes on that car are phenomenal. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to give a big shout out to Jay. It was super nice to meet you. He's an incredibly nice dude, and it was awesome to get together and hang out for the afternoon with our two Mopars. Super nice. Thanks so much. That was excellent. Anyways, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. My goal when I started this channel was just to show you that you could make your 5.7 Hemi really fast with only a couple modifications and very little dollars spent. When the tracks open back up, I want to show you guys a 12-second time slip with only headers and a tune as the only modifications to the car. And then I've got a major upgrade plan that I'm just waiting to get here. In fact, it is probably shipping as we speak, and I am super excited to show you guys. But in the meantime, slap that subscribe button, and I'll catch you later.